Hello, welcome. This is a Samsara introduction and instruction tutorial video for Anderson Coach and Travel. This is the new electronic driver log system that we have in our vehicles. So, unlike our previous provider, Samsara is going to be all on our smartphone. There are no more tablets in the vehicles themselves. So, with that said, each vehicle has a computer that is hooked up to the engine control module. So by using our phones, we can log into the Samsara app and communicate with the individual vehicles. So the Samsara app is in both the Apple and the Google app stores, the Play Store or the App Store. It is an owl picture such as this. It's called Samsara Driver. There is also a Samsara Fleet app, which you are free to use. That is by invitation to your email, and so the username and password will be different. You set up the password, your username for that will be your email. Do not get that confused. This video is solely covering the Samsara Driver app. So once you download it, this is what the welcome screen is going to be. So 3 fields to fill out to sign in. First one's going to be your fleet ID. That is Anderson's DOT number 337. The next thing is username. So that is going to be all lowercase, your first initial, and then your last name. So mine is E. Anderson, and Chris Yeckley's will be C. Yeckley. The password is going to be your 4-digit employee ID. Even if your employee number is less than 4 digits, add zeros in the front to make it a 4-digit ID. So after you type in that information, click sign in, and we will get to this next page here. So when I click that, it says, this popped up and says I have 3 uncertified or unsigned logs. So one thing that I will recommend is please always just click the blue and sign them. A couple reasons for that. One, it's the law for you to sign your logs. Even having these 3 here is technically illegal, but it's counterintuitive, and you are unable to accept admin changes until you sign that day's log. Very strange, but I didn't write the rules, so I would say just always sign them, even if you know that that day is wrong. You need to sign them and then let me know or make the change yourself, and then I can change them for you. So once you sign them, this is the next screen you'll get. Oh, one other note, since logs are kept for 6 months, when you first sign in, you will have about 180 of these unsigned logs. So just sign them. I take care of that part on my back end. Don't worry about it. So once you get to this screen, this box up top here is for your vehicle. This box down here is for your shipping ID or your trip number. So I'm going to click on vehicle. As you can see, it auto-populates some choices. It actually picks the ones that are nearby to you. So I'm in number 10 today, and I'm standing right next to it when I took this screenshot. That's why it's right here. So I'm going to click this box to pick number 10 and click done. It's going to ask me for a confirmation of this 2006 Prevost H3. I'm going to confirm. This vehicle happened to have unassigned driving time. As with our previous provider, just always cancel that. Let the admin assign that drive time. The report is run every other day, and so those are done and handled already. We don't want a mess by you or accepting movements that were not yours. This should not happen very often because anything that happens on the yard is no longer an unassigned movement with Samsara like it was with our old provider. So we're going to cancel that because we don't want to accept it. And then we're going to enter the shipping ID field with this box. I'm going to type in my number here and then click save. Simple as that. Then we're going to click done and we'll be into the main screen. So from the main screen here, I'm going to first cover this blue tile. These are called tiles, which is the hours of service. Here you can see I'm in number 10. There's my shipping ID that I just typed in, 476543, and I'm off duty. What I'm about to show you, you could also do from this block, but it's located in 2 spots. So within the blue hours of service, here's that same block where you can change your status. As you can see, my time, I have 10 hours left, 15 hours, and 67-ish hours of my cycle. I'm going to click this box to change my status. As you can see in blue, it has me in off duty. I'm going to click this orange one here and then click save. So 1 minute later, now I have 1 minute left of my 15, so it's working. So you can scroll down to see more, whether it be your logs or something like that, or you can click this arrow to go back to the home page of Samsara. So the next thing we're going to cover is the DVIR, Daily Vehicle Inspection Report, or driver, whichever way you want to say it. And you can see I'm on duty here. So it'll pull up your most recent DVIRs for number 10, and then I'm going to create a new one. So I'm just trying to get rid of this screen, but so far unsuccessful. Vehicle only is what you're going to select because we don't have trailers here. We're going to scroll down past the auto-populated stuff, and I'm going to click pre-trip here because that's what I'm doing. You can take a photo if you want. When you click this, it's going to ask you, do you want to take a photo or choose one from your existing library? I always would suggest to take a photo because then you aren't taking up space for DVIR items. So that brings up your camera. I took a picture of this model bus in my office here. And then we're going to add some defects. So there's a list of bus-specific defects. So you can scroll down to find the appropriate one. Please add as many comments as possible. That's definitely encouraged from the mechanics because if you don't write it up, they probably aren't going to find it. They're not driving the vehicles nearly as much as you guys. There is a way to take pictures. If you think they're necessary, they're definitely encouraged. Once you've selected all the defects, click the back arrow again. You'll notice a common theme here to get back to the DVIR. And then there's one final thing we need to do and select if it's safe or unsafe. I selected tire change and just a test, so it's safe to drive, and then click next. One final thing just to certify that vehicle 10 is safe to drive, click down here in the blue, and done. It is submitted. Another tile is this purple docs. So any information that you as a driver need to get to us as admin, whether it be me or the charter department, you can submit in the docs. If you have any suggestions for anything that you think should be here, just let me know. Currently, you click the docs, create new document. Currently we have accidents, log abnormalities. If you were to have, say, a violation, tell me why. Did you have an adverse condition? I don't know. Fueling off the lot and fueling on the lot. Those are different because we want the off the lot, we want a picture of the receipt and stuff like that. Parking receipts, something that we need in the charter department. Take a picture of it, send it to us rather than turn it in 10 days later. And then personal conveyance, when you use it, you should submit this. So I'm going to quickly do an accident. These are all have different fields that we want to you guys to submit to us. Let's do an accident one real quick. So as you can see here, when I click here, a couple of these things are required. The date, the time, were there injuries, and a quick description. I don't need you to take photos or the vehicle number, but these 4 things I do need. So I'm going to click in date. I'm going to click in this field again. You can see the star that it's required. It's actually going to bring up a calendar. It's selected today, April 8th, automatically. I'm just going to click OK. It picked the time automatically. When I took this screenshot, it was 9:59. So I'm just going to click OK. See how it's populated up here at the top? I'm going to click next to go to the next item. Were there injuries? I'm going to follow the red. Probably not. I don't think there were. There definitely was not. So no. And then click next. Give me a quick description of the incident. This is a test, is what I'm using for this. And then click next. I'm going to add some photos for this one just to show. It's similar as the DVIR. You click that. It's going to say take a photo or choose from library. Again, always suggest take a photo. Here's my office. I'm just going to take it with this button here at the bottom. And it goes to this. Is that the only picture you need, or could you add more? Do either. More the better most of the time. These pictures are not saved on your phone, so why does it matter to you? And then vehicle number, just enter that and then click next. I can usually get that elsewhere, but it might help. So enter that, click next. Then the final thing is just review the data. There was no injuries, test. I have 2 photos. Okay, I'm going to submit it. That'll send you back to the main screen. So a couple of tiles, lesser used down here, I think, but they are custom, which maybe they're used even more. So this orange one here is the ACT trip portal. So if we click that, it's going to take you directly to the Coachworks driver portal login where your trips are at. Now I'm working on getting this bigger because it's very tiny on a cell phone. You can pinch to make it bigger and zoom in. So type in your email and your password, log in, you'll get your trips. Do note that this opens a separate browser. Mine is Google Chrome. So going back does not get you back to Samsara normally. So you're going to actually have to switch apps, which with my Android phone, I swipe from the bottom of the phone to go back and then swipe left to get back to the Samsara app. So such as this, and then I click in it to get back to the home screen. Similarly, we have a YouTube channel with the tutorial videos for some maintenance troubleshooting. I'm going to click on that. It brings up a straight link to YouTube, whether that be a web browser or a YouTube app you have. And there's a good collection of motor coach maintenance and training in here. Again, this is a separate app, so you'll need to get back to Samsara by switching apps completely, as I just showed you. A couple of other things. I'll show you how to do a log transfer if you were to get a roadside inspection. So that's under the blue in the hours of service. You have to scroll down, which is why it's a little hidden. So if you scroll down, you can either access your logs or view the roadside. I'm going to show you what the logs look like, my basic ones. So here I just logged in and you can certify and submit it. If you click the back button, it'll take you back to the screen. Let's do a roadside inspection by clicking this. So Samsara is nice because they understand that you're going to be handing your phone to an officer. So what they do is they actually have you create a temporary PIN, which kind of locks your phone down until the officer gives you your phone back, and you can retype that PIN in to unlock it. So you'll type that PIN in. It'll say your phone is now ready to hand to an officer. So do that. And this is what they see. So this information is what they need. They can view the previous days. Here are the required in-cab materials, which one is a log instructional video for the inspector. The other is a transfer instructional video. Both of those are now on here, which is great. And then when they give you the phone back, simply put the PIN in and it'll take you back to the home page. Now I'm going to go over logging off duty, which is the #1 mistake. How to do, there's a couple ways to do it here. So one way is I'm going to click in here. I'm going to click from on duty to off duty and then click save. It'll prompt you, do you want to go off duty and sign out or just go off duty? I always do off duty and sign out. That does log you out of the vehicle, which is great. It says you have some uncertified logs, so I'm going to sign those. Unfortunately, when you sign those, it brings you back to the main page. So you'll have to log out again, and then you'll finally get to this screen. There is another way to do it, which is much easier, just a couple less clicks. This button here, it both logs you off duty and logs you out of Samsara, which will also log me out of vehicle 10. So if we click that, it's going to log you off duty. Now, there are some caveats with that, because if you have these unsigned logs, it's going to do that and then bring you back to the home screen again. You will need to click this, and then there's only one other thing that could get in the way, and that's if you have admin edits that are waiting for approval. They'll ask you then to sign them. And then again, it'll bring you back to the screen. Then one more time, log out, and you will get the loading screen because you have logged out. I hope that this training was sufficient for you. This does not go over the actual hours of service, but it is a quick refresher or an introduction to someone that needs to learn how to use Samsara as their electronic logging device. It is now in all of Anderson's vehicles. So if you are someone joining Anderson, welcome aboard. We look forward to working with you here in the future.